Hello everyone. I wanted to do a little cassette boombox video, little cassette update too. This is the Audiocrazy Boombox, half a boombox. I didn't see too many videos or reviews, real world reviews on this, so I thought I'd show this off. Not that I needed another cassette player, but the wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said this little boombox because it's more for nostalgia, and it reminds me of the first boombox I ever got, like a Sanyo or something, I think, but it was this similar style. And these go for, I want to say, around $70. Again, I don't see too many reviews on these things, and I am pretty happy with this. I think looks wise, I give it an A+. It's got the VU meters. You know, it looks like something you would have bought in like 1979, which is about when I bought my first. I think I got it for my birthday. I say bought it. But this thing, it gets pretty loud. I'll tell you that. The radio reception is really good. I'm surprised. I mean, it's really good. And where I live in the middle of nowhere, I'm not really close to Portland or Bangor or a lot of radio stations. I'm in the middle, so reception can be horrible, but I can listen to the Red Sox out here in the sunroom. This is what I wanted, to sit out here in the sunroom with some tapes. And the cassette that's in there, I'm going to show some classic rock tapes I think that you would have had around 79, 80 in the 70s, whatever. But the first one I put in there with this, I just recently bought, was this heavy metal soundtrack, which I had the vinyl copy I've had for years. But the reason I picked this is because the Cheap Trick song Reach Out, which is always been my favorite Cheap Trick song, it's only on this album. And I might have messed that up. Don't let these sheets go on. I did. I had it, but I hit rewind. But this thing, it's a fun little player. It gets loud. You know, I just think it's nice. It's nice looking. It looks, the radio reception. Now, is it awesome elite sound? No, it's not. I mean, it's a $70 boombox, but it does the job. It's enjoyable to play tapes on for something like this. I would think a young person getting into tapes, this would be a pretty cool and inexpensive way to start. I actually have an auxiliary cord on my receiver down here, so I can run it through that. But this is more to put a tape in, come sit out here, listen to the radio, which would mostly be the Red Sox. I don't listen to too much music radio. So again, I don't know if it'll show up the best. It really is. I think it's a good looking little radio cassette. Reminds me, again, it was nostalgia that I got this, because it's just reminds me of the first one I ever got. It has soft eject. It's actually too slow, I think. Again, the sound quality is good. It's not great, but for a little portable boombox, I think it works well. It said the VU meters. It gets loud. The radio reception is really good, and it's a fair price, I think. So on to some tapes. I'm going to show, I bought a whole bunch of tapes lately. I've gotten back into more. I cleaned some out, buy some. But I figured I would show some classic rock tapes, no heavy metal or anything like that, but especially things that I would have had early on. and one is Queen News of the World, because that's one that used to be, when I was younger, that was one of my favorite albums. In part two, another one, The Kinks' Low Budget, is still one of my favorite albums. This is I have this on cassette, on vinyl, on 8-track, CD. To this day, I know a lot of people didn't like this as much, but this was my introduction to the Kinks as a little kid. This got played on the radio, and I still love this album to this day. Something else kind of time period. The Best of Blondie. Had such a crush on Debbie Harry. That's a good album. Boston, and that's a Spanish tape, but Boston's first album I still love. To this day, when that More Than a Feeling comes on, I still love listening to that. One I recently just picked up, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So I want to watch that movie again. This isn't my favorite tape. There's a lot of tunes on here I'm not that into, but it was a good nostalgia piece for the time. And it got me thinking I want to watch that movie again. Couple of Bad Company. I really like Bad Company. Bad Company is something I like to put on at night, put my headphones on, and helps me fall asleep. It just has that mellow groove, but I really like Bad Company. A few from Kiss. I bought quite a few tapes in the last month or so that were really cheap in just really good condition. Dynasty, which now I really dig this album. At the, way back I didn't, but now I think that's one of their better albums. Kiss Alive, the first one, the best one. So some Kiss, some ELO, another great 70s band. The Stones, Goat's Head Soup. That might have been late 60s, I can't remember, but that's a really good album, and this was in really good shape. I bought a few Stones things that were in really good shape. A band I've grown to appreciate, the Doobie Brothers, the early Doobie Brothers stuff. I really like. What else we got in here? Uriah Heep. One of my favorite albums, Montrose. I love that album. Another album I love, Ziggy Stardust. Early Bowie I really liked. He got poppy at the end. He made a lot of money, but I didn't like it as much. But this Ziggy Stardust is awesome. And I think this tape has the acoustic outtake or acoustic demo of Ziggy Stardust, which is really good. All right, some good old 70s Aerosmith. I forgot just how good this album is, Get Your Wings. I love their first album, but I was playing that today. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Emerson, Lake and Palmer is a band that there's some tunes that I really, really like, and there's an awful lot of it I don't really care for. But I got this greatest hits, best of. Again, all these cassettes I bought recently were in just beautiful shape. Okay, double feature. I love these double album cassettes. The first two Cars albums, which are by far, I think, their best albums. I love that. After that, Panorama was okay, and then I just didn't like them after that. But the first two, with Candy O and the first one, and Just What I Needed and all that, and that's something, I would have put. Okay, the first tape I ever bought, this and Toys in the Attic, when I had my little boombox that I got probably for my 12th birthday, something like that. And I went out and bought 2 tapes. And it was Cheap Trick at Budokan and Aerosmith Toys in the Attic. Another 70s kind of classic rock thing I like. Aqualung, great album. Not all Jethro Tull I'm that into, but that I'd say that is a great album. All right. How about some Ramones? A couple from the Ramones. Road to Ruin in the first album. That's just 70s as you get. I mean, they kept going, but Ramones stuff. I'm glad I have most of the Ramones on cassette because I see crazy, crazy prices. A couple from The Who, Live at Leeds, which is an album I love, and I don't love The Who. I like some of The Who, but I really like Live at Leeds. What's that, Meaty Beaty? I think that's like a comp. So again, those were this. I love. I don't know why either. I used to crank that in high school. I just love that album. That and the Stones, Get Your Eyes Out. All right, a few more. Another in that same era. Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. I like Nazareth. Don't love all of it. But they just peaked with this, Hair of the Dog. This is a great album. It's a fun album to put out. In fact, that's probably going to be the next thing I listen to today. And then finish up with some Pink Floyd, Pipers at the Gates, and Relics. I think this is an Australian Relics, I think. But Pipers is one that I didn't get into until much, much later in life. But obviously Pink Floyd. So anyway, that's it. The Audiocrazy, call it a mini boombox. But it's I'm going to give it a good review. I like it. I like the way it looks. It cranks up. It's fun to play tapes on. And, it's got the bass. It has Bluetooth and some other features, which I don't really use the Bluetooth. That's not what I got it for. So some people would. That is on there. I just keep it plugged in. It's got the internal battery, but for what I use it for. But anyway, that's it. I say yay to this.